Welcome back. So over the past 3 months, the DA in Joburg has lost 3 major chairs. This time, the party's Tyrell Meyers has been removed as chief whip through a motion of no confidence. He was booted out at a council meeting on Thursday. That's yesterday. Well, Meyers joins us now live to discuss what happened in council. Mr. Meyers, welcome to eNCA and thank you very much for your time. Are you going to take this to court? Or are you going to take the matter to court like the executive mayor, the former executive mayor?
Hi, good afternoon, Masejo, and good afternoon to all our viewers. At this point, we haven't decided whether we're going to take it to court right now. We're still going to consider, what happens today, as there is another sitting of council this afternoon. We still have to do the voting of a new chief whip, as well as 3 chairperson positions. That is the chair of chairs, petitions committee, health and social development. Thank you.
All right. So what's going to direct you to go to court after today's elections?
Well, I think we're waiting for the outcome of the court case against that Impo Mayor Palazzi had initiated against the Speaker, Colleen Makabele. We're waiting for judgment has been reserved on that matter, so we're waiting for the outcome there. And I think that will also inform the decision thereafter, because it has an implication and knock-on effect on a number of things, such as programming, because they've changed the composition of programming, and programming has to precede a council meeting. So we'll look at the knock-on effect that has, and what our legal options are from thereafter.
So we know that there's politics at play here and there's a strategy to get the DA out, but your own coalition partners are also basically rejecting you.
Well, I think it's what the other side is also offering. You saw that the Patriotic Alliance did leave the coalition. They were offered 2 MMC positions, and of course, when we stick to an agreement, we're called arrogant. I don't think there's any arrogance when we stick to an agreement. If this is a signed agreement, we can always negotiate. The clause 5.5 of the coalition agreement says if you want to relook at these positions, you can do so. So, we still have some of our partners that are with us. We still have the ACDP, we still have the Freedom Front Plus, and we still have the IFP. So, yeah.
What happened particularly in Johannesburg? Because, for instance, your colleague in Eguruleni, Tanya Campbell, says that her relationship with Action SA is still okay. What happened between the DA and Action SA in Joburg?
Well, Kathy, I'm sorry, Sejo, that's also what we'd like to find out as well, is that I think we have a good relationship with Action SA at a local level here. I believe the talks all proceeded at a high level, and that's perhaps where the issue came from. We know that there were discussions that they wanted to relook at or renegotiate the coalition, and that's probably why it has fallen flat.
And can you see how this looks to the electorate? Because you had a mandate. Of course, we voted for multiple of you to take power in Johannesburg and steer the Joburg region in the right direction in terms of service delivery, which is really what we expect from you. But what it looks like now to us, from all of you, not just one party or two, all of you, it looks like it's a bartering of positions, and it's no longer about actually giving us the services that we need, because now there's all these negotiations and talk about the other side offering better. Offering what better?
Well, like I said, the Patriotic Alliance was offered 2 MMC positions. With our coalition agreement, they were only given 1. So it's a case of, what can I get? I think Gator McKenzie has been very instrumental in saying that he's not really interested in principles, he wants power. The electorate is the ones that have lost at the end of the day, because this is where the country is going. It's going to the future of coalitions. But also, if you have a signed coalition agreement, there are mechanisms and means to deal with disputes within the coalition agreement. We don't have to air it out in the public domain. We have a means to actually sit down and say, okay, how do we sort this out? How do we agree? How do we find each other here, etc.?
Well, apparently the DA is arrogant. Apparently the DA has been arrogant.
Well, you've seen also Nelson Mandela Bay, we were called arrogant in 2018 when they asked Ethel Trollope with 3 of our DA councillors, and they were found now, they were arrested not so long ago by the Hawks because they took bribes. How can arrogance be when you stick to a coalition agreement? If you stick to an agreement, you're sticking to principles. Like I said, the coalition agreement has that mechanism. If you want to renegotiate positions or allocations of positions, there is a clause within the coalition agreement that allows for that, but you've got to do it as a whole. So are we going to be called arrogant because we're sticking to a coalition agreement?
The only other thing that's also concerning, Mr. Meyers, is that you're not only being called arrogant by opposition political parties or coalition partners. The DA has been called arrogant by people who worked for it, people who used to speak for it. Your Herman Mashaba, your Zwagele Mwango just last week and this week as well. There's been numerous ones. So can you see how it looks to us as ordinary citizens just looking?
No, I can see. And, it's funny that these things were not said when they were within the DA at the time. So people go form their own parties or they go join other parties and then suddenly we're arrogant with this, with that. Why don't you raise it and all that kind of. We have the structures that you can raise these matters as well. So, look, it's politicking. That's how I see it.
All right, Mr. Meyers, thank you so much for your time. We'll catch up with you possibly maybe next week to find out if you'll be taking the matter to court, of course, after today's conclusion of the council sitting. That is ousted Council Chief Whip Tyrell Meyers.